Hi, my name is Ben Balos, and I am beginning the restoration project on this Hippo Mount. Here's my story on how I took this old antique mount where the skin was cracked and peeling, it was falling into disrepair, and here's how I restored it and created a masterpiece out of it. Alright, I'm restoring this Hippo. I wanted to change the pitch because this is a shoulder mount coming off the wall, and I wanted to be coming out of the water on a pedestal base that we're working on as well. So anyhow, what I'm doing here is I'm changing the whole pitch of this thing. I'm reinforcing it with wood. I'm going to reinforce this all the way around, get my mesh put on, and start sculpting the new skin back in place. As you can see, the skin on this antique hippo is fully deteriorated and needs replaced, so we're going to replace it and make this thing hopefully look brand new. Let's give it a shot. So I'm taking this hardware cloth and putting it over the entirety of this hippo. What I'm doing is I'm cutting different pieces out, got these wrinkles put in here, and I'm going to sculpt on top of this. This wire mesh is going to give me something for my plaster to grab onto. So let me see how I'm going to cut this next piece here. Little by little. I'm going to cut like a square. Let's go right here. We'll go at it. So this process took several hours and actually several days to complete, and several hundred drywall screws to hold the wire mesh in place as it's carefully shaped over the form of this hippo. And that wire mesh gives me something for my mesh, for my mache to cling to after I get it all put together. And then that's sculpted to create the texture of the hippo skin. So I'm mixing up my mache here for this hippo. This is how I'm making the skin. I attach this to this hardware cloth that I spent countless hours on covering this entire hippo with. I still have some more to do on top of the head, but I wanted to go ahead and start the sculpting process, experiment with it. I really like the way this is coming along. And then I take this and just brush it on with my hands, kind of spear it in place. Might be a little tricky up here. A smaller amount. Then we got about 15 to 20 minutes of work time to get this spread before it starts setting up. And I don't know how long it takes to fully harden. That can vary based on humidity, but we're just gonna see what happens there. I just put my hands in water. Smooth this out a little bit. Texture this while it's setting up. First step in texturing is this fancy garbage bag. It has a really nice, natural, subtle skin texture because these hippos, they do have a texture to them, but they're pretty smooth. So this helps me get some really nice texture without spending a great deal of time on it. The key is getting this stuff sculpted before it sets. And we'll come back in with another technique after this. And I like to crisscross it because that creates the more natural skin texture to it.
I want to say it's almost like scales, but not really. Last but not least, I'm going to take my modeling tool here, dip it in the water, just very lightly, just start adding a little bit more definition. Some of the skin, folds in the skin, little wrinkles, little. Nice way to get this all to blend together. I've painted all of these little divots and different lines. These will all help add detail when we go to paint this later on. The highs and the lows. Contrast with different colors.
So this process also took me several days to complete, working on it on and off, doing small sections at a time, letting them dry, come back and add some more to it. It took several days. All in all, the Hippo project in its entirety took me about a month to complete. So now I've changed locations from my tent that I had set up outside here to my shop, which is in my 9x15 shed. It's a temporary taxidermy studio I built to get this project pulled off. And if I can do a project of this size in a 9x10 or 9x15 shed, anyone can do this. And basically you can do whatever you set your mind to. So whatever you're going through in your life, don't give up. If you have goals, get them done. And you'll be glad you did it. Here we are at my friend David's wood shop. He is a professional and expert woodworker. He has his own kiln drying services where they can mill lumber and turn it into boards and fine quality stuff. He helped me create the base for this hippo, and more on that coming soon. Here I am adding the whiskers. As you can see, I've drilled each hole one at a time, and then I cut these whiskers out of broom bristles from a push broom, and bent them, shaped them one at a time, and glued them in place one at a time. The hippo is on its base here and nearing completion. It's painted, and the water is starting to be built. So the whole goal with this hippo is to have it coming up out of the water, splashing out of the water. I've got some splashes going on here. And here's another look at the water I was able to create. I made the splash and the ripples, put some lily pads in there and poured some resin. And here we are at our big show. And that is the entirety of this hippo project. Thank you for watching. My name is Ben Balos. My business is Balos Wildlife Studio, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can. God bless.